Good morning, grade 7 students, and welcome back to another English lesson. In this lesson, we will complete the second part of the lesson 3E, Speak and Write. In this lesson, there are two learning objectives. So by the end of this video, you will be able to first brainstorm ideas through a graphic organizer, and second, compose a 3-paragraph writing describing your town or city. Before we start today's lesson, please open your student book, page 45, and your workbook, page 46 and 47. At the end of the lesson, you will need page 48 to complete the writing task. So let's get started. It's important that you know, when writing, try not to repeat the same words all the time. Use words like subject pronouns, he, she, it, we, they, or object pronouns, him, her, it, us, them, or demonstratives like here, there, this, and that. For example, instead of saying, "My city has got a lovely park, I often go to the park at weekends," we can avoid repetition by saying, "My city has got a lovely park, I often go there at weekends." Another example, lots of British tourists visit my town, and I like talking to the British tourists. So to avoid repeating again the same words, you could say, lots of British tourists visit my town, and I like talking to them. So you could simply replace the British tourists with the object pronoun them. Now let's practice. Let's work on exercise C in your student book, page 45. For this exercise, go back to yesterday's reading text, read the text again, and find what the highlighted words from 1 to 6 in the text refer to. Let's do the first one as an example. I live in Edinburgh, the capital of Scotland. It's one of the most beautiful cities in the world, and about 500,000 or 500,000 people live here. What does here refer to? Where do the 500,000 people live? Yes, in Edinburgh. Please pause the video, complete the exercise, and come back when you are done. Welcome back. Are you done? Let's check your answers. Number 2. What does this refer to in the sentence, "This is in the city centre and it is the most famous castle in Scotland"? Now it's important to read the sentence that came before this one as well to find the answer. There's Edinburgh Castle, for example. So the correct answer would be Edinburgh Castle. Next, number 3. Them. There are many hills in Edinburgh. One of them is called Arthur's Seat. Them refers to hills. Number 4. What does it refer to in the sentence, "It takes place in August"? So it's the best time to visit the city. The best time to visit the city is August, so the correct answer is August. Number 5. We often go shopping on Princess Street, the city's main street. We, of course, refers to my friends and I. Finally, number 6. Princess Street gardens are very close, so we usually go there for a picnic. There refers to Princess Street gardens, of course. Please check your answers and make sure that you copied the correct answers in your book. Now let's move on to another practice in the workbook. Please work on exercise C, page 46. For this exercise, you need to replace the words in bold in the sentences below. Let's work on the first one together. Sentence number 1. Ahmed and Hassan went to the park yesterday. Ahmed and Hassan had a great time. As you can see in the sentence, the words in bold are in the subject position. So we replace Ahmed and Hassan with a pronoun, a subject pronoun. So the correct answer would be they. They had a great time. Please pause the video, complete the exercise, and come back when you are done. Okay, let's see how well you did in this exercise. Sentence number 2. My city has got a huge shopping center. We go to the shopping center every Saturday. If you answered, we go there every Saturday, then you are correct. Sentence number 3. Many tourists visit my town every summer. I always try to show the tourists around. Let's use a personal pronoun instead of repeating the tourists twice. So the correct answer would be, I always try to show them around. Sentence number 4. This is the best restaurant in the neighborhood. I come to this restaurant once a week. To avoid repetition, it's better to replace to this restaurant. So the correct answer is, I come here once a week. Finally, sentence number 5. The art festival takes place every summer. The art festival is the most popular one in the world. What did you replace the art festival with? That's right, it is the most popular one in the world. Now let's move on to the writing task. For today's lesson, you need to write a description of your town or city. Use the information in Activity B and read the plan below. Since you are going to write a description, please keep in mind, dear students, to use a variety of adjectives when you write to make your description more interesting. We have already discussed Activity B in yesterday's video, so make sure you have already watched the video to prepare for the writing task. Now let's read the plan for today's writing. In the introduction, you need to answer 3 questions. Question number 1, what's the name of your town or city? Question number 2, where is it? And question number 3, what are some important features of it? Size, population, etc. As for the main part, there are 4 questions to answer when working on this part. Question number 1, what are some of the most interesting sights? Question number 2, are there any mountains or hills or rivers, etc.? Question number 3, what can people do there? Question number 4, is it popular with tourists? Finally, you need to answer these 3 questions when you work on the conclusion. Question number 1, what do you think of your town or city? Question number 2, is there anything you like or dislike about it? And question number 3, what do you enjoy doing there with your friends? Now it's time to start brainstorming ideas for your description. In your workbook, page 47, let's start with the introduction. As an example, dear students, I will describe the city of London. Please feel free to describe the city that you live in Qatar or the city that you are from. What's the name of your town or city? As I have already mentioned, London. Where is it? In the UK or in the United Kingdom. What are some important features of it? About 9 million people live in it. Moving on to the main part. What are some of the most interesting sights? For example, Hyde Park is a very famous park in London. You could give an example of 1 interesting sight or 2. Next, what are some of its most important geographical features, like mountains, lakes, rivers, etc.? You could mention a well-known mountain or lake or river, like the Thames River. You could also write that there are no mountains or lakes or rivers in your city. Make sure that you research information about your city very well while brainstorming ideas. What can people do there? People can relax or have a picnic. And what can tourists see there? You could answer, people can visit Big Ben. It's a huge famous clock in London. It's a very important site in London. And finally, for the conclusion, what do you think of your town and city? So you need to write your opinion. You could say, London is an amazing place to live in. You could say, London is a wonderful place to live in. I love living in London. What do you like about it? I like the big and peaceful parks. You could say, I love the malls. You could also write, there are beautiful buildings in my city. What do you dislike about it? You could write, I like everything about London, or I like everything about my city. You could also say, I dislike traffic in my city, or I hate the old buildings in my city. And finally, what do you enjoy doing there with your friends? You could say, I enjoy walking around the busy streets with my friends. I enjoy shopping in the malls. I love hanging out with my friends in the malls. I enjoy watching movies in the cinema with my friends. Awesome, dear students. We have achieved the first objective, which is to brainstorm ideas through a graphic organizer. Now let's work on the second objective of the lesson. After you brainstormed ideas in your workbook, page 47, turn to page 48 and use all of those ideas to write your description in a 3-paragraph writing. Let's read this example. The first paragraph will answer the 3 questions that we already discussed. I live in London, the capital of the United Kingdom. It's one of the biggest cities in the world, and about 9 million people live here. Moving on to the main part. This is the part where we are going to give details and describe the city very well. London has got a lot of amazing sites to visit. London is famous for its huge clock, Big Ben. Many tourists visit London to see it and take photos of it. There is also a very famous park here, Hyde Park. It attracts lots of tourists every year. People can relax, have a picnic, or even do sports there. Tourists can enjoy a walking tour along the Thames River too. London is an amazing place to live. In the conclusion, you are going to focus more on your opinion and what you enjoy doing in your city. So, I enjoy walking around the busy streets with my friends. We usually go shopping in Oxford Street, London's most famous shopping street. I like the big and peaceful parks. It's never boring here. Don't forget to use the following checklist to help you improve your writing. Once you are done writing the description, check the features below in your writing and tick each box when you are sure about it. So please, dear students, don't forget to check the capital letters, the punctuation, the spelling, the word order, grammar, vocabulary, conjunctions, linking words, and set phrases. I don't think you will need headings for this writing. Once you are done, please submit your work to your teacher so you can get feedback on it. Finally, we have achieved the second objective, which is to compose a 3-paragraph writing describing your town or city. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, dear students, and stay safe.